Okay, now approval of minutes and nominations of alderman. Kevin, you,
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just take a minute and go over, have on the agenda the nomination of an alderman due to a vacancy. Take just a minute and go over what the ordinance says, procedure, and make sure everyone's on the same page as far as how that process should go. The current aldermen have full discretion and authority to appoint that due to, under the charter and an ordinance that was passed in 2013. The qualification to serve as an alderman is based upon it being anyone that could otherwise be elected as an alderman. So you could be a resident of the city of Rogersville, an adult eligible to serve in all other capacities, but it takes a majority vote. That is it. Okay, majority vote of the current remaining aldermen. It dawned on me that it doesn't set forth the procedure by which that vote shall occur, whether it would be a motion and vote, or whether it would be a nominating procedure. But it's my understanding in the past there has been a nominating process where there'd be a motion to open the floor to nominations. Those nominations come in, and then there'd be a motion to close those nominations. In my opinion, a nomination does not require a second. Okay, that is based upon Robert's Rules of Order, which our ordinance does prescribe. We follow that procedure when there's nothing else set forth. And you can do it either way, but I believe the nominating procedure is what we've done in the past, and we recommend to follow that here. At that point, when nominations are closed, discussion is closed, then I think you could vote in a number of ways, and I understand that may have been done in a number of ways. But I think the best method would probably be a roll call method. You simply would say out loud who you vote for, and then if there is a majority, you don't vote one at a time. You would simply vote for the person you would want to vote for, and if there is a majority vote, at that time, that person would have it. If there's a tie on it wouldn't be with 5, but if for some reason there was an abstention of some way, if there was a tie, then in my opinion, the mayor would break that tie if it is a dispositive vote, meaning for the position. Okay.
any questions?
Well, I'd like to nominate Danny Brooks.
I think you need a motion to open the floor to nominations first.
Okay. Well, I'll make that motion that we open forward nominations.
You have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those disapproved, noes.
Now I'd like to nominate Danny Brooks.
Okay.
I don't think it requires a second.
All right. Do we have anybody else?
I'd like to nominate Ann DeWitt. Ann is a local girl. She lives in the city. She's a businesswoman, very, very up to date on what the town does and what the town needs. So I would like to nominate Ann DeWitt.
Okay. Any other nominations? Do I hear a motion? Do we have to have one to cease?
I think you do need a motion
Okay.
to close nominations.
I'll make that motion to close the nominations.
Do I have a second? Moved and second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those disapproved, no.
You second that.
I'll second it.
Thank you. I'm a little behind, but I'm getting
What's new?
there. I knew you couldn't resist that. Okay. So you want me to do it as the nominations, the first one, you want me to do a roll call on that, is that what you?
Go either way you want, just as long as you roll call it.
As long as everybody agrees, I think you can roll call it.
You just announce the one you want to vote for.
That way everybody is, there's no way to do it. If you do it by ballot, I still think it needs to say who voted for who. Probably
So-
the easiest way to do it.
Okay, so I'll just ask them, they'll tell me who they voted for, correct? We're doing one roll call, right? Roll call for each one.
I think it's one roll call and you say who you voted for. At this time, due to who is nominated, I will point out I've had some questions regarding the potential conflict and how voting would be on that. I just would review at this time the town code of ethics, okay? Essentially, it defines when anybody in this town may have a conflict based on a personal interest, okay? Personal interest is defined as any financial ownership or employment interest in the subject of a vote by a municipal board not otherwise regulated by state statutes on conflicts of interest. This is a vote by a municipal board. Employment interest is defined as a situation in which an official or employee or designated family member is negotiating possible employment with a person or organization that is subject of a vote or is to be regulated or supervised. There's a lot of ways that can go, okay? And then the requirement when there is an employment interest that is, or a personal interest that is subject to a vote, the ordinance requires that an official with the responsibility to vote on a measure shall disclose during the meeting at which the vote takes place before the vote, and so it appears in the minutes, any personal interest that affects or that would lead a reasonable person to infer that it affects the official's vote on the measure. In addition, the official may recuse himself from voting on the measure. It is not a mandatory recusal. In my opinion, it just requires it be disclosed if it exists. There's room for a lot of interpretations in there, but I have had some questions and just wanted to mention that before there is a vote, if anybody felt that would be appropriate.
Okay.
Everybody's looking at me.
It's your turn.
You ready for me to go? Eloise?
And DeWitt.
Todd?
And the whip.
Fonda?
Dan Brooks.
Brian?
Danny Brooks.
Rob. Danny Brooks.
Record show 3-2.
Okay.